So at the moment we are getting some really cold frosts still at night, so this is the way I'm protecting my veg at the moment. I've just got a little plastic up around, and it's time to remove it and allow a bit of sunlight to get to the vegetables.
Dan's Kitchen Garden Allotments.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Dan's Kitchen Garden Allotment. Just before this video starts, please go along and hit that subscribe button to come along and join the family. So let's get this video started. So then guys, the allotment's almost ready. Today what I've decided to do is bring you along. I've got some potting on to do in the greenhouse, and I've also got a couple other bits and pieces to do in the greenhouse as well. So let's head to the greenhouse and let's show you what it's looking like at the moment. So at the moment we are getting some really cold frosts still at night, so this is the way I'm protecting my veg at the moment. I've just got a little plastic up around, and it's time to remove it and allow a bit of sunlight to get to the vegetables. So with all that plastic moved, the flowers can finally breathe and start to grow these vegetables. So as I move down, as you can see, we've got a couple of failures here, but that's just down to the cold weather, I think, that we've had. None of them seeds from the big pumpkin that I had last year hasn't really come and germinated very much, but we've got plenty of other bits and pieces to go into the ground. We've got butternut squash at the back. We have got these are pumpkin Big Mac. These are the Big Mac pumpkins. As you can see, we've got 4 reasonable good ones, and it looks like one more is trying to germinate there. In this one we have got the pumpkin oil. This was the present I got delivered, what I had delivered, and as you can see they're just getting onto the stage now where they're going to need potting on very shortly. Sunflowers, germination rates not massive, but we've got a few to go around the garden, and we'll be looking at potting them on as well. The sweet corn, we've got 1, 2, 3. Something else was in the compost. I'm not too sure it was, but as you can see we are getting little bits of whatever was planted in that compost before. But that's them. Tomatoes are absolutely fine. Brussels sprouts are doing fantastic. They've taken probably another 2 weeks or so. They'll be ready to go out at the allotment as well. This is something that I have to sow. What I've got to start doing, and that is my cabbages. This is some fresh cabbages. They need to be potted on. As you can tell, they are getting quite bunched into that area. Placed the runner beans a couple of weeks back, and they're just starting to show through. This year with runner beans, I'm not going to leave them to get too pot bound, and I'm not going to keep them until they go really high. As soon as these come probably about 15-20 centimeters up, they're going straight into the ground. I'm not messing around with runner beans this year. I just want to get them in the ground and get them growing as quick as possible. So that's another good thing. Finally got some movement on our marrows. These have been in probably for about a week or so, and as you can see they're just starting to come up, so that is going to be another good thing. Zucchini, courgettes, these are just a save seed. Can't see no movement on them just yet, so hopefully they're fine. And I've just seen that we've got a little bit of movement with the Brussels sprouts. As you can see, just starting to come up green. The soroi coming up green, that's perfect. And remember, I'm labelled with a number so I can go directly straight back to the packet and to find out what was exactly planted in there. Got some cauliflower, they're just starting to come up. And the leeks, I don't know what's going on with them. I've only got one leek what's come up, so I don't know what's going on with that packet of seeds. This year it just doesn't seem to be growing at all. Which what I do is I will hopefully speak to my brother, and maybe he might have a couple of leeks left over what I can use at the allotment. This was just some old chilies that I planted in. Absolutely nothing's come to them, so these can be retired and moved on because there's nothing happening with them at all. The moneymaker tomatoes, I've only had very small germination of them, and I don't know what's going on with them this year. They just don't seem to want to grow at all at the moment. But what I'm going to do is prick these. I've got 4 here at the moment. I'll prick these 4 out and leave these a little while longer just to give a little bit of germination. This was the cucumbers. If you remember, in a couple of vlogs ago I did lose a few cucumbers down to the frost and they didn't recover, but I've got 2 there. And I've also got the new sow in here, which I've got 1, 2, I've got about 10 to 12 cucumbers there. So there's a lot to do. So what I'm going to do is put you on the old mount and show you of me potting on things. So then the first job is going to be to sort out these sunflowers that my daughter Felicity sowed. A lot of them didn't germinate because these are only going in the garden. What I'm hopefully going to be doing is by potting these on. To be honest, I need this tray for potting on the cabbages, so I'm not too fussed really of how many of these actually survived. And what we're going to do is just use this old compost in the tray here just to keep going. So I'm going to get on with this and I'll bring you back in a second. So then guys, this is the sweet corn we've got, and as you can see we've only had very minor germination, but that doesn't really matter. That is just down to the cold weather we've had. As long as we get about 40 or so plants, it's absolutely fantastic for the allotment. So what I'm going to do now is, because we're going to need these trays very soon, we're going to transfer these into the pots they're going to stay in for a little while. So what I'm going to do guys is put you on a time lapse of me and my daughter doing this. So let's get this time lapse started. So then guys, as you see from that little time lapse, the sweet corn's now been done, but also off of camera we've done things like the sunflowers, the pumpkins, what else have we done? We've done the butternut squash, we've sowed a couple more. Also we have done the cucumbers, and now it's time to do the cabbages, these summer green cabbages. The reason why I've brought you back to this main part of the video, this bit here, is, as you see from the start of the video, this was from our sunflowers, this tray. And when you're handling things like cabbages and things like that, so basically these will go straight into the ground as they are now, and there won't be any other problems. So basically I normally fill up a tray like that, and this is the seedlings. This is what I've planted in, and as you can see, these have got their second leaves and they're ready to go. So all you do is give them a gentle turn just to take them out of the compost pot, and then you slowly get the root out. All you want to do is just take your time with them. You want to treat them a bit like a baby. Try and hold them above the 2 starting leaf stems. Stick your finger in and give them a good firm down. If you need a little bit more compost, just put that in. So, as I told you, it's exactly the same way as the Brussels sprouts with the cabbages. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this on a bit of a time lapse and speed it up a bit. So, as you can see, that's all them cabbages sewn up and ready to go on. So basically I'll leave these now for about 3 or 4 weeks until they get stronger, and then I'll start introducing them outside for a few hours a day just to get acclimatized with the weather on the outside, not just being in the greenhouse. But they might look a little bit drooped now and a little bit down, but the thing is, as soon as you give them a bit of water, which I'll be doing at the end of the day because of it's very warm at the moment, and we don't want anything to burn the seeds, to burn the plant seeds. So when I keep these in a greenhouse, I'll always keep them at a lower shelf from the sunlight so nothing can get to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on the shelf now, and then I'll show you what else we have done today. So then guys, as you can see, we have sorted out the butternut squash. I wasn't too happy with only having 4 butternut squash come up, so what I have done is I've re-sowed another 6 into this little tray here, and hopefully they can catch up and they'll be ready for the allotment to go on to. At the back here we have got the mixed pumpkins what I was sent. Not sure what they are, but we're going to find out very soon at the allotment. As I move back down to where we are, the Big Daddy last year's pumpkins, I've just left them like this just to see if anything germinates. But the pumpkin Big Mac, absolutely perfect. I've got 6 of them coming up, and that will be fine for the allotment. Last year I only put in about 2 or 3. This year I have so much more. I'll move along. Sunflowers, which my daughter planted up, and then we have a whole row of the sweet corn. In total 50 sweet corns have survived. So nothing's been done with the tomatoes. We keep them down low so the sun doesn't burn them, and as you can see, they're getting their second leaves, and this was only after about 2-3 weeks, so it's absolutely fantastic. Brussels sprouts, keep them down low too as well, because they shrivel up within the sun. Everything needs a bloody good water, which that will be coming up very soon, but the greenhouse is starting to get filled. Soon as these start getting potted on, it's going to be crazy in here. It's going to be quite filled, and it's going to be growing, so everything's going to be going at once. So that's me done from the greenhouse. It's extremely hot and it's bloody warm. Guys, that's me just messing around in the greenhouse, just potting on a few plants and a few bits and pieces as well. So as I said not too long ago, everything will have a very good water very shortly, as soon as the sun goes down goes down. So guys, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you're watching this video and you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button and make sure the bell notification is switched on at all times to notify you every time I upload a video. Until next video guys, I'll catch you later.